know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
Oh, baby. I forgot how like nutty this movie is. Like it's like this dude just rolls in to town.
Yeah.
he literally just pulls up and just starts blasting.
I mean, kind of like there's some things I noticed about this movie this time around that I missed out the first time we saw it.
Yeah.
That like he definitely starts off as way more of like an optimist, and then like when the reality is revealed to him, then he becomes like gung ho fucking ass kicker guy.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
That's right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. This week, we are covering the 1988 cult classic, They Live. It's considered one of John Carpenter's best films, and I feel like still has a very relevant and poignant message today. As always, I'm your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Yo.
and Twan.
What up?
Just a reminder for returning listeners and first-time viewers, we are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B movies, and horror. All these opinions are subjective, and enjoy the ride. All right, so They Live. This is our third Carpenter film, fourth film if you count Season of the Witch, which is like the Carpenter universe, I guess. But definitely the third film of his that we've covered that's been directly, I guess, directed by him. And then he wrote the screenplay for it under the pseudonym Frank Armistead, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Armitage.
I
Yeah.
was like, that's crazy. Like, what? Why? I wonder why he did that. Like, why did he just do screenplay by John Carpenter? Why did he have to do a pseudonym?
You ever just want to not be yourself?
I mean, Stephen King did that
Every
for a
day.
while.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. So this movie, as stated, directed by Carpenter. So he's probably best known for Halloween and my all-time favorite horror movie, The Thing, which we covered during our Halloween Fest
Bonanza.
or Halloween Bonanza. It was
Bonanza.
written by John Carpenter and Ray Nelson, in the sense that Ray Nelson wrote a short story called 8 o'clock in the morning, and then he adapted that short story into a comic. And then the premise from those stories are the basis of Carpenter's screenplay.
Nice.
That's
I
cool.
think it's cool that Carpenter like also wrote most of the movies he's directed. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. He has such a good mind.
Yeah, he does, dude. Even with
Yeah.
music, like he did the music for this too.
Yeah.
With Alan's was it Howarth,
Mm-hmm.
who's also worked on a bunch of Carpenter stuff. They just collab all the time.
And also, I mean, I know you mentioned that we covered a ton of his movies, but we have a ton of his movies in our like wheel. Like
Yeah, we do. He's
You-
like the king of cult classics, it feels like.
Yeah.
like horror, sci-fi, like all of his stuff. Most of his stuff are bangers.
And a lot of his stuff doesn't usually star like an A-list celebrity, which I find pretty interesting.
Mhm.
And the closest would probably be what's his name from Into the Mouth of Madness? Dr. Grant. Sam Neill.
You,
I would think
Yeah.
the closest would be
Roddy Piper.
no, what's his I'm drawing a blank from
Jamie
the
Lee
thing.
Curtis.
The Thing,
Kurt
fucking
Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Was he already big by the time
The Thing came out.
the thing came out?
I don't know if he was like big, but he was already, I think, like working. Like he was already like a known name.
Yeah.
Because he did that movie, what the Escape series, and Big Trouble in Little China. Those are all Carpenter films.
Yeah.
Mm.
One thing I thought was interesting about the music is that it's not like super synth heavy, which is like a staple of Carpenter.
Yeah.
It's mad bass heavy in this one.
Mhm. It was
It's
a nice,
very
it
like
was a nice
it,
change. It felt like
Mhm.
LA.
Yeah, it was like setting the mood almost.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, I felt that.
and the music goes on a lot through this movie. Like, there's a lot of background music, even like through some of the like non-important scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, he utilizes the movie a lot in this film. Where I feel like in his other movies, it's less prominent, but in this one, I feel like it's front and center.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the cast and crew? What'd you think of Roddy Piper as Nada?
So ridiculous. I love his one-liners.
His one-liners are great.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Are they?
I like
time to
them.
kick ass and chew bubble gum and I'm all out of gum. The only reason why I knew that too is because I played Duke Nukem as a child. And Duke Nukem quotes that, and I didn't know where it came from until I saw this movie, and I was like, "Holy shit!" He's directly quoting this movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, really funny.
I think for him not being like an actor per se, I thought he did a decent job.
Yeah, he acted the shit out of what he had to do. Also, I feel like
I don't know.
wrestlers are actors. Like
They are
They
actors,
are.
yeah.
yeah, they're more physical actors, but they're still like actors for the most part.
But in the same sense, they're not actors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Like,
Don't tell that to The Rock, though.
the Miz is a
Yeah.
terrible actor. The Rock is a terrible actor. Triple H is not a good actor. Kane,
Who's the Miz?
the Miz, I don't know. He's just some fucking wrestler, dude.
Miz, we got to pull it up for the stream.
Yeah,
I don't know who that dude. I've never heard of him. What's his name's pretty good, surprisingly. John Cena.
dude. John Cena is probably the best out of all the wrestlers,
He's really
in
funny.
my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't that good until
Peacemaker.
no, he's in the movie with Amy Schumer.
Oh, the one where he's a drug dealer.
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. No, he's like her boyfriend. He's like a closeted gay guy in that movie, and he's just like making all these he's like sexual, like saying all this sexual gay stuff without, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You know where you could find me? You could find me on Grinder. I'm the closest dot." He's like, "You know what I do to assholes? I lick them."
I have to watch that movie. I haven't seen that movie at all.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Goes when like Amy Schumer was like at her peak. It's her, Bill Hader's in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's in it, and then LeBron's in it.
Nice.
That movie, I was like, oh, this dude's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then in Peacemaker, I was like, oh, he's like actually a good actor. Like he's pretty good.
I didn't think Roddy Piper was too good in this movie.
He wasn't the best, but I feel like he got really into it. Like
He was better than I expected. I felt like he put effort.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah, he definitely gave, A for effort, for sure.
The fight with him and Frank.
That was crazy.
That was ridiculous, dude. Why were they fighting for so fucking long? We'll go into it more, but god damn it, dude. That fucking fight.
Speaking about the fight,
they looked all fucked up afterwards too.
South Park did like a almost shot for shot remake of that fight. It was Timmy versus Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a South Park ass thing to do.
Yeah,
that's funny. It is such a long fight though. It's
kind of a hella long fight for no reason.
Before I saw this movie, like I've heard of it, but the thing I knew the most about it was that it had a 6-minute long fight.
Why didn't he want to just put on the glasses?
He didn't want to get involved, dude. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I got too much to lose. I'm not trying to get involved.
Yeah. Not my shit, not my problem.
Pretty much. He's like, dude, he like did him a solid too by bringing him his pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and like he didn't know what the sunglasses would entail. And all he knew was that this fucking guy went on a rampage killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yo, get the fuck away from me.
He's
I don't want anything to do with you.
Here's your money, dude. Like, you were cool, but like, I'm out. Don't fucking talk to me anymore. Speaking of Frank, played by Keith David, who got his, like, I guess his first break with Carpenter on The Thing, right? I think that was one of our interesting facts from last time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was also in Armageddon, Princess and the Frog. You guys watch Abbott Elementary? He's the principal's father in that show.
Damn,
Apparently,
I haven't gotten that far into Abbott Elementary. I've only seen the principal.
he's in the latest season. He pops up for a couple episodes.
Nice.
He was his role was written specifically for him, which I thought was pretty sick.
That's cool.
That's
Like
cool.
Carpenter wanted to have a sidekick, but he wanted a sidekick who could like hold his own. So he's like, can he like to keep David in The Thing? So he's like, all right, I'm gonna write this role for him.
Nice.
Which is pretty sick because The Thing came out in 84?
Mm,
And this movie came out like 4 years later. So he still was
82.
like 82. So 6 years later, and he was like, oh, I need to this is a Keith role right here.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. And we have Holly, who's played by Meg Foster. She was in Masters of the Universe, The Lords of Salem, and 31. I never saw The Lords of Salem. That's like another Rob Zombie flick.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
She had some fucking gorgeous eyes, Meg Foster.
Hmm.
Her eyes are captivating. She seemed more like robotic and alien than anyone else in this fucking movie, though.
Yeah.
She was
True.
so like deadpan face like the whole time.
Yeah.
And then we have Gilbert, played by Peter Jason. The Drifter, played by George Buck Flower. And the Street Preacher, played by Raymond Saint Jacques. Is that how you spell that? Say that? Jacques? Jacques?
Jock.
Jacques?
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 I don't know.
So,
Sorry.
Raymond,
I keep thinking about Jaquez.
Raymond Street Jacks?
Raymond Street. God damn it.
So, for the Drifter, I was kind of confused about this. Was he the dude that was at the end of the movie too, the one who gives him the tour? Is that also the guy that was like all mad at the TV? He's like, this hacker keeps showing up on the TV. Are those the same characters?
That's a good
I don't know. That's a good question because I was thinking the same thing when that guy popped up in the end. I'm like, where the fuck did they meet? Like, how does he know them?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because he's like, oh, I didn't know they recruited you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that the bum dude that was like they were watching TV with, and he was all mad that the channel was getting interrupted? But I couldn't remember it either.
Also,
Yeah.
how were they watching TV? They were like in
Shanty town.
and an encampment. Like how did they get a TV to run in there?
Maybe they ran in like an extension cord up into like a cable power line or something.
Oh, okay.
Because you could like just splice the wire.
Fair.
How people used to get the remember the black boxes back in the day that get you all the channels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just splice into someone's cable. Well, I think you splice into the actual cable company and then it'll just give you everything.
Hmm.
Those are cool.
But back
Never had
then,
one.
it
Always
was
wanted
just
one.
an antenna.
Yeah, and
All
then
you
back
needed
then
was
it
an
was,
antenna, and then you get TV.
and then they're out like with no building interference because the TV was just like in the middle of a lot, so they're getting all the channels.
Yeah.
Living it up.
Living the good life. Hey, that they're like plate of food that they got when it was like supper time. I was like, damn, that's a mad little meal they got.
Yeah.
They be eating good.
Porridge.
It wasn't porridge. It was like peas with like mashed potatoes, and it looked like some kind of like meat with gravy.
Damn, a whole ass Thanksgiving dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really living it up over there in the shanty town.
I mean, I had a buddy who was living in a homeless shelter for a while, and they would get all the leftover Dodger dogs at the end of each game.
Hmm.
So this would come the
Nice.
next day. If he knew we were working together, he'd bring me a couple all beef franks.
Oh yeah.
Like sick, dude. All right. So this was all of us have seen this movie before, right?
Once
This
before.
is-
Yeah.
Oh, so it was all our second viewing. Or say, how many times have you seen it?
I've seen this a handful of times.
Okay. My second, Twan, your second, says
Yeah.
handful. This is my first time watching it sober. And I liked it more. I liked it more this time around than I did first time, surprisingly.
Because you were sober?
Yeah, I think like I missed a lot of the like subtle like nuances when I saw it on mushrooms because I was on mushrooms. So,
We did. We did.
but watching it this time,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, all right.
Mm.
I see what they're doing. Because the movie felt really slow, but I was like, maybe it's because I'm on mushrooms. And then watching it the second time around, I thought it was a better paced movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your guys' experience like watching it again?
The first time I saw it was back in like 2019, and it was at the recommendation of my boss at the time. And I felt the same way as you, Dale. Even I was not on shrooms, but it felt like the pacing was off. It did feel like kind of sluggish. It felt like a 2 hour movie, even though it's like an hour and a half. But the second time around, I guess it might have moved a little quicker. Um, Maybe because it's been so long since I've seen it last. It felt like watching the movie for the first time again. There was some parts that I remembered, but like you said, I was able to pay attention more to like the details and the dialogue between the characters, more so this time around than the first time.
What about you, Sam?
Um, I think with all the movies that we've seen, the thing that I enjoy the most is like kind of looking at the movies in a different lens, that I'm kind of more like analyzing the movie in a way. So it was cool to watch the movie and then think of like parallels to what is currently happening now in our world. I feel like that's the only difference. The movie felt kind of fast to me. But again, I've seen it like a ton of times. It's one of those movies that if it's on, I'll watch it. And for some reason it was on a lot. I don't really know. I don't know why it was on a lot, but yeah, this is just one of those movies that um I typically see kind of often. But it was cool. It's always enjoyable to watch a movie again and then kind of do like an analysis of it, even if it's not like an in-depth one. I don't know. Just for me, it's like a funner way to watch stuff.
It's interesting that you bring that up. I wonder that's why I liked the acting more this time around than the first time. Because I feel like the first time, since I was high, I was very much just going off like the visual cues of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time is I was watching it more analytically, and I was like more looking at like the dialogue and kind of like how in your face the juxtaposition between like the very poor and the hyper rich, and like going back and forth between those two like visual concepts
Yeah.
made me appreciate the movie, and I guess forgive some of the. I didn't even think the acting was bad from my viewpoint. I was like, I thought it was all right. I mean, Keith David was good. I mean, there's only really two fucking characters in this whole movie. It's just Keith David and Roddy Piper's character, which I feel like, I guess I could see how that could be a negative, because if you're most of the character interactions are with the character who's not a traditional actor, you really got to bring it in order to kind of sell the movie.
Yeah.
Because it is mostly just Roddy Piper for like the first like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Just fucking doing Roddy Piper shit, walking around, building things, taking his shirt off.
Taking his shirt off. I think he only does that one time.
Roddy Piper thing, bro.
What do you guys think about that? It's about the way the movie starts. So we know that Roddy Piper's a drifter, right? Because it starts off with him coming from like a train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, I like how it throws us into this new Reganomics world, and how like you could like one of the subtle cues I picked up is when he goes to the Social Security office, and you hear them say like, "Oh, we're not taking new applicants. Our computer system's down, so just like leave."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, that's so interesting," and how it's kind of like this idea that like the social system that's meant to help people who need help is like failing, and it's not really doing what it needs to do. Like when Piper goes to talk to that lady, I was so like, even her reaction to him, like she was annoyed by him being there and looking for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, we don't have anything." He's like, "All right." And like his whole thing was, I used to work out in the Midwest, but work ran out. So now I'm looking for work here in the city. Cause I think they're in LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What'd you guys think of that whole beginning and how it like sets us into this like world of like the haves and the have-nots?
I immediately thought of like now and how our current administration is like cutting all these different programs that are made to help people and provide support. Just yeah, this movie's like pretty spot on in a way. I mean, they're like the ridiculousness is that there's aliens, but the scary thing is that we don't really need aliens for this to happen. Like it's actually starting to happen now. And it has been going on for a minute, right? Because I think overall the movie's like about like capitalist and like how one part of society wants to like profit off of everyone else. But we don't need aliens to do that. We could just do it ourselves. So it was interesting to like watch this and be like, damn, like they were thinking about this back in the 80s already when, you know, before I was even awake. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. There's definitely a lot of parallels between this movie and now, which is crazy to think about. Like, and I mean, things have obviously gotten worse since then, and it's not looking too good for the future either. So I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't. I was telling my wife because I was like, "Oh, you got to watch this movie with me." Like, I feel like the message of this movie is still relevant, like to this day.
Mhm.
Especially like this beginning portion, as you touched on, say about like the failing government systems and
Mhm.
how that's just a result of the government just deciding not to care about the people.
Yeah.
And then you see it even within the people who are supposed to help are kind of just like started to see people like him as like a nuisance,
Yeah.
which I thought was like pretty interesting. And like him getting that job like was just like super lucky.
Mhm.
Like it
Mhm.
doesn't even really explain like I, mean, I don't know like because the guy tells him like oh he goes to that construction site right and he's like oh looking for work like I got my own tools and the guy's like well this is a union job.
Mhm.
He's like well can I talk to like the head guy and then he gets a job. But I didn't really like understand that whole concept. Like I don't know what that means. I think if it's like a union job, you can't just hire like random people off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be part of the union. They have like specific contracts in order to work.
But it was also cool because you see here too, like the working man, even as we later see with Frank, he's like, hey, like he could tell, like, oh, you're a drifter. Like I got a safe spot you can like stay at. So
Mhm.
like the working man was helping. He's like, ah, this is a union job. He's like, it's cool. I could get you like a gig. Like we
Mhm.
could bring
Yeah.
you onto the crew. If you do good work, like, you know, you're good. And then Frank's character was like, hey dude, like I'm in the same position you are. Like come with me, like I got a spot you can chill at.
Yeah.
And even the like how they help each other out, but the people at the top aren't helping the people at the bottom. It's like you got to take care of your own. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I thought the especially when they get to the shack, that whole like sense of community was pretty cool. What do you guys think of the whole
Mhm.
Hooverville section of the movie?
That was dope. It's like a whole like interconnected community chilling together, eating together, watching TV that they set up together. And then all while the helicopters were like flying around that whole time, right? I think like there's so many scenes of just like police helicopters just kind of flying through the air, like looking around. They made it like a point to make sure that we noticed that there was LAPD always watching over everything.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. What did you think of it, Twan?
It was cool. I mean, you don't really see that nowadays. At least I personally haven't seen that where like, it's a group of people and it seems like for the most part they're all hardworking people just trying to get by. Um, you know, but yeah, you don't really see that too much. And it was nice. It was like a palate cleanse, especially with everything that's going on these days in our world. But yeah, it was cool to see that sense of community within those people. Like even though they're down and out, they still have each other to kind of um, you know, be be there for each other.
I thought it was cool too. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but a lot of the people in the like shack town were like different ethnicities. like Hispanics, blacks, and whites, but all the alien people, all the like upper class people, are all white people.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting. And then all the aliens drove German cars.
Damn, I didn't
Damn,
realize
did
that.
they?
Yeah, they all had like Mercedes or like BMWs.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
The few times that we do see them get into a car, it's always like a German car.
Interesting.
You know, Mercedes and BMW is like that's wealthy car, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The alien cars.
But I do like the concept that gets introduced with the alien cars. with the guy hacking the like broadcast network and him
Yeah.
telling people like, oh, they need to
Mm.
wake up.
Hmm.
And I thought that was pretty interesting because I feel like that's another everything he says there is still relevant today, where he's like they just want you to like stay asleep by
Hmm.
just selling you shit all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like that's how they're getting control of you because it's just giving you things that you don't need and you need to wake up and see that they're actually taking advantage of you. I
Yeah.
thought that was a pretty interesting message.
It's such a consistent message. Like it's a message that just, I mean, we've always been dealing with capitalism, and I mean, even more so. I feel like it just gotten worse over time. So it's like a really easy message to just hold on to, and like that's still relevant today for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy too because like I think about like how would you if you were to make this movie today, like what would you change? And I feel like there's not much in the message that you could change, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like consumerism was bad during the mall craze into the big box store craze,
Hmm.
and then now it's like the online craze. But they're all the same. It's different variation of the same shit. Just people
Mm.
just buying stuff just to buy it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too how Nada's just like immediately suspicious of Gilbert's character.
Yeah.
Like for no reason, he's like, this dude's up to something, and he just like decides to like investigate him.
Hmm.
I didn't really understand why he decided like this dude's like helping out all these people, like let him have his secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, why is that church on? It's 4 a.m. We go check that out. I don't know.
That was what I was saying earlier, dude. He just comes in and causes ruckus.
He's just an inquisitive guy.
Yeah. He's just
True.
a chill guy that
I don't know if he's chill. This is getting all up in everyone's business.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, because every time he goes and he figures out, like, he's like, dude, there's like, we got boxes of shit and like the church sermon's fake. And Frank's like, hey, man, like, fucking leave me out of this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they're helping us out. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. We got a place to stay. We got food. Like, just leave me out of it. He's like, what did he tell him? Because he left his wife and 2 kids back at home, back in Detroit,
Hmm.
so he could come work in LA. I thought that was pretty interesting because, you know, us being Hispanics, you know, you always hear about like immigrants and all this stuff and like having family members who immigrated to this country for doing the exact same thing for like looking for a job and like a better life. And it's interesting to see that this movie doesn't have like the immigration problem, right? It's migration. It's people who lost their jobs in like other parts of the country migrating to Los Angeles in the hope of finding jobs in a place that's supposed to have jobs like consistently. I thought
Yeah.
that was a very interesting concept.
Hmm.
I feel like if you did remake this movie, you'd make Nada's Mexican.
Hmm.
Like that would be the only difference. You just put like an immigrant like twist on it.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Like if you I feel like the only thing that you need to update is probably just like the culture, maybe. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it's, I mean, it's one of his best movies for a specific reason. Like better than like Halloween, stuff like that, because Halloween is just more of like it's like a scary movie. This one is more, I mean, they're both scary in a way, but this one's like a little bit more like grounded in like this in like a real tangible thing of like consumerism is not a good thing.
Yeah, it's like a social commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does a good job of capturing like a period in time in which American industrialization died. So all the people who were tied to that industry had to go other places to find work.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know, well, Nada, we don't know where he worked, but he worked in the Midwest for 10 years. So I'm guessing it was something industry related. Frank is from Detroit and he worked in the steel mill
Mm-hmm.
and he had to give up that job. So it's like this transition from industrialization to like consumerization of everything,
Yeah.
where instead of it becoming a producing country, it became like a selling country, which I think is just pretty interesting. So I like this movie. It's like I didn't notice all this shit the first time I saw it. Like I did on the surface level, but I didn't realize like how much it was in there. And this is all within like the first like 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get the big reveal that Gilbert was he's the hacker man's team all along. I thought that was so hilarious that they're like, we can't get a good signal out, and the church is like literally across the street from where that fucking TV was.
Yeah.
Like the guy's just like in there. The guy who was like giving the notice to everybody was literally like right across the street.
Well,
I thought that was
they were
pretty
trying
funny.
to hack the TV station.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
that's
the TV
right.
station was distributing the signal everywhere else.
That's true. Yeah. They're trying to like use their relay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a cool concept though.
To hack a TV station?
Yeah, to hack like a signal station in order to put out your own signal.
Hell yeah.
I liked it. What'd you think of the cops busting in and fucking everything up?
Dude, they literally rolled in, guns blazing.
Dude, the fucking army, bro. I was like, that's
army.
a lot of cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Destroyed that poor
bulldozer.
town.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that lady was still like sleeping in her like van house, and they just like bulldozed it.
Yeah.
They killed the preacher and the announcer guy, right?
Yeah.
They just beat him to death.
They murdered
Yeah.
everybody.
In the alley.
They fucked up a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what they did to our people in the Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like when they cleared out Echo Park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just fucking wrecked everything. I think it's interesting too, because like the homeless crisis has kind of always been a thing in LA. But the way that Carpenter portrays it here is just like it's just people looking for a break as opposed to
Yeah.
like these nuisances on society.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they didn't catch fucking Nada though.
He's too bomb.
Slippery.
It's too quick. He even saved that one dude with the binoculars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grabs him, right?
He just grabs him. He's like, let's go, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Then they end up at some random house that everyone's holed up in.
Yeah, some abandoned house.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking too, I'm like, man, if that was there the whole time, why wouldn't you just sleep in the abandoned house and just go outside to get the grub and then just go back?
Huh.
That seems like a way better spot. And this is where shit pops off. This is where Nada gets the sunglasses.
Does he get it that night or does he go back?
He
No, it's the
he
next
goes back
morning.
in the morning. Yeah.
And he just,
The
like,
church is all burnt.
And he sees the door or the wall and he just kicks it down.
Yeah, because he accidentally like fell into it when he was doing his investigation. So he knew about that secret like hidey hole or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just gets a whole
grabs
box
one
of sunglasses. No, he gets a whole box. Because remember he hides it in the trash can?
In the other alley?
Yeah, in the other alley.
Yeah.
Because he kind of takes off and he's like in downtown, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he puts the glasses on. I like that the glasses show the world in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't know. It's just like the messaging of it, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think it's saying? Like, it's saying that everything's black and white, or
I think
not everything's so black and white?
That's interesting. I feel like he's trying to say that the messaging, like the consumerist thing, the consumerism and the whole like taking advantage is black and white. It's like, don't do that. And then the real world tries to like distract you with all the pretty colors. Like how it's like, it'll be like, oh, like, join the police force today, or we're here to protect and serve. And it's just like, you put the glasses on, it's like, don't question authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it's like a bikini model and it's like reproduce.
Yeah.
I thought the messages were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that imagery, that font with the black and the bold black letters, all caps with the white background is pretty. It says a lot with very little.
hmm
It does.
And the aliens are pretty
I was
creepy.
about to ask, what you guys think of the aliens?
Creepy looking aliens.
Yeah. The practical effects are, I mean, what we've come to enjoy from Carpenter films, but they were good in this movie as well.
Mhm.
I feel like they only got better too.
Yeah.
Like throughout the film.
hmm
Yeah. Once we start seeing them more often.
I feel like they're more detailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look fucking gnarly though. The fucking bulging eyes and like the no skin.
Yeah, the no skin is off putting.
Yeah.
Definitely off putting. And then the chameleon like attributes of them, because it always shows them like amongst other people
hmm
and how they're like just holding a regular ass conversation.
hmm
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, just the fact that they're among us. It's not even an invasion is happening. It's like an invasion happened already.
Yeah.
hmm
They're here with us now. Like
Yeah.
fuck. It makes it so much grander, or like it's on a grand scale, you know, like it's worldwide, this fucking these aliens,
hmm
which is terrifying to think of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's kind of not like it's like what do you do when you've already been invaded and you don't even know it, or infiltrated, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like it did show that there's more people than there were aliens. I don't know. What do you think? It was like a 6-to-1 ratio, 5-to-1 ratio.
Maybe, I don't know. Hard to
I guess
tell.
it depended on where they were, huh?
Yeah, I think to me what I got was that like all the upper class people, like the really upper class, like elites, were aliens. So, and those were all the people that were making decisions on like how everyone else needed to live. So even if there wasn't like a large population, it was just a small group of elites that like have taken over, kind of like how we're dealing with now. The
But I think
small group of oligarchs that have taken over our country.
well, it seemed like too, not even just like the elite of the elites, but also like anybody within like a prominent role anywhere.
Yeah.
Like when when his homie was consoling him, he's like, "Oh, it's all right, man. You'll get the promotion next time. Next time it'll be your turn."
Mhm.
So it's like they even promoted the alien who got promoted by the other alien within like this business.
Yeah.
But like he's not like world leader guy.
Yeah.
He's probably just like a regular Joe within the alien community. But that's how they get all the leadership positions wherever they are at.
Mhm.
And that's how they manage to control everything.
Yeah.
But because they look like one of us, you don't like, it doesn't seem like anything nefarious is going on, but it's all nepotism.
Yeah. I like that everything was also subliminal messages. Like when he walks by the was it like the newspaper, the magazine stand,
Yeah.
and he puts on the glasses, like all the magazines had different subliminal messages on them.
It's like they owned all sources of media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all the news anchors are aliens.
hmm
I thought that was pretty interesting too. I even looked out. I'm like, is there going to be one that's regular? Nope. All subliminal.
I think there was one cop that was
Not
right, and and Roddy Piper doesn't kill him. Didn't he just tell him to run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tells him to like hoof it or something.
Yeah, kick rocks or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too,
Skedaddles.
because we see those
Skedaddles
two
the fuck out of
cops were like aliens, the ones that he like kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later on, when they're in the meeting with Gilbert, I think he mentions that most of the police force aren't aliens.
Yeah.
So like, because they know they're more likely, we're more likely to not kill our own.
Yeah.
But it seemed like all the army people, like the elite police force, are all aliens.
hmm
Like those dudes with the white and black camo.
Yeah.
But I don't even know, were they the army or are they like just like special security for that like secret base?
I don't even know.
Yeah, they very well could be mercenaries or
Yeah.
like a hired group because
Aliens.
they weren't dressed in like normal camo unless the black and white is urban camo, but I don't think it is.
Mhm.
I don't think so either. I think the black and white is supposed to be like snow.
Yeah.
I'm remembering from my Rainbow Six days back on like the PlayStation 2.
Fucking spec ops.
Yeah, back then. What'd you guys think of the action in this movie? We get our first action scene when Nada takes out the two cops.
I mean, it escalates like really
Fast.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah. Which is crazy. And this whole part is not very long. He just, goes on a tear. I thought, looking at being on the outside looking in, I can't even imagine like the chaos that this guy is causing in the real world because like he's just a madman with a shotgun. He's
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just
that's
murdering
all he
people.
is.
He's
Yeah.
just murdering people.
And all the other people, they don't know that he's murdering aliens. They just see him as murdering other people. So it's like,
Yeah.
who's this fucking psychopath?
This dude that just walks into a bank and says, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Like, what the fuck? Just holding a shotgun with like dual pistols,
Starts
Yeah.
blasting
Look
on
at-
people.
looking like he's a fucking revolutionary from fucking Mexico and shit.
Mhm.
The fucking bandolier across his chest. Yeah, because it does look like he just looks like he just starts shooting like random people.
Yeah,
He's a crack shot though. He just wrecks everybody.
It does.
he is.
I like that. And it's so small and really fast. But this is one of the only scenes that a blood splatter happens on the wall.
I saw that.
I don't know why. It was just that was a cool shot when he
It
like
was the dude, like the
shoots
bank
the
teller,
alien.
right?
Yeah, he shoots the alien and then the alien like falls back and blood splatters on the wall. It was like that's the only one time that we see blood in this movie. Besides when Roddy Piper and Frank are fighting later on.
Yeah,
They get bloody, but the only other blood that we see in this movie is that one scene.
Was this movie
yeah.
rated R?
Interesting.
Oh, let me look. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Yes, rated R.
Interesting. I think that'd be more blood because it's rated R.
Maybe it's the words that he says, or maybe it's just the general violence, like just shooting
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, just like in public, just like
Yeah.
going on a killing spree.
Yeah,
His reaction is wild because like he sees like remember when he's in the market and like all the aliens are like walking towards him, communicating, like describing him,
Mhm.
and then he sees that like flying thing,
The drone.
the drone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was very curious to see what that drone looked like during the like when the glasses weren't on, or if it was like invisible, but we never get to see it.
no. Yeah,
True.
I feel like it's probably just a cloaked drone. Damn, what if it was a bird?
That's what I was thinking.
Birds
FBI
are-
birds. But then like he's like, well, that's not good. And he just immediately is like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna take care of this. I'm just gonna fucking kill all of them.
Yeah,
Like that's his solution. I'm just gonna start blasting every single alien I come across. Just immediately just start murdering them.
I did like in the beginning too when the aliens are looking at him, looking at them. They're like, "What?" Or that first guy at the newsstand, he's like, "What are you looking at, buddy?"
Mhm.
And then he goes. It's not until he goes into the market and he starts talking shit to that woman,
Yeah.
and
I forgot what
then
he
she's like, "I
says.
have one that can see," and then they all start communicating right after that. I thought that was kind
That
of
was cool.
Oh, and then I also like that their like wristwatches can like teleport them out.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Some
Because that
crazy
happens with the
tech.
dude on the bank, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he's standing right behind him and he's just and then just douche. He like flicks something on the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. One thing we didn't talk about, what I thought was interesting, is that when Frank and Nada are having a conversation at the shack, Frank's like very pessimistic about how the world is. And Nada is very much like, nah, I believe in America. Like if I work hard, like everyone is having hard times right now. If I work hard and I stick with it, I'm going to get my break. I just need a break. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Frank was like, nah, dude, like the system's broken. This shit's fucked up. There ain't no breaks coming for people like you and me. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But then he very quickly is like, oh no, the game's rigged. We got all these
Mhm.
fucking aliens everywhere. I guess we just gotta start murdering everybody.
Yeah. Time to
And
call an ambulance. Not for me.
he's all bomb at the escape. He gets away all beastly.
He's slippery, man.
He just murders
Fucking
everyone.
kidnaps that Holly chick who's just like not tripping the whole time.
Oh,
Just so
yeah.
happens to be like a high up at this TV channel station.
Did you notice what car she was driving?
No, was it a
BMW.
Benz? Oh shit!
BMW.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
her fucking apartment was nice. Or her house.
Mhm.
dude.
That shit was hella nice.
Another home I'll never be able to afford.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting how well he kidnaps her. He's like, I'm sorry, like I didn't like it's like don't fuck with me. Like I'm not gonna hurt you, but don't fuck around. Like you don't know what I've been through. And he's like, look through the glasses, and she's like, look, you're in control. I'm gonna see what you want me to see regardless, because I ain't trying to die. But I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting that he was like, fine, like don't look through him then. But like you believe what you saw. If you let her look through him, there's a good chance that like she would have chilled the fuck out and like not have thrown you through a fucking window.
Yeah.
But he just like gives up. He's like, whatever, you're giving me attitude. I'm not gonna let you see that. Like, bro, you need allies. You seem like a crazy person right now.
For
Yeah.
real.
You just kidnapped this girl, and she's like, yeah, you're in charge. Like, blah blah blah. Like, here, look at the glass. Look at your fucking magazine. What do you see?
And we get introduced to like two characters who serve no purpose in the movie whatsoever. Like, the two neighbors of Holly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
We just see that they saw them go into the house together, but like nothing
happens.
came
Mhm.
about it. Yeah,
I wonder if they were aliens.
That's true. I wonder if they're just like friends of Carpenter.
Mm.
Yeah, that is true because there's like, hey, Holly, and then she's like, hey, and they look at the guy, and one was like, ooh,
yeah.
and then like that's it.
I wonder if they're I'm trying to look at the
IMDb,
IMDb to see if they're like
the producers or something.
like credited or something like that. There's not I don't even see them on here. Like,
It's such a small role.
yeah.
But I'll give it to Holly, man. You could tell that she's used to being in like positions of like high stress situations because she was like pretty cool, calm, and collected that entire sequence.
Mhm.
She was, especially for someone that had a shotgun pointed at her.
And
Yeah.
immediately like came with like got a way out. I
Yeah,
thought it was funny. She's like, I'm thirsty. He's like, all right, go ahead. And she's just like opens a bottle of champagne and just like pours a glass. I was like, that's a wild thing to just like want to drink for. Just a fresh bottle of champagne.
I mean, if I'm being held hostage and I get a chance, I'm probably gonna open a bottle of something.
That's true. That's true. But how strong is she that she fucking whacks this dude over the head and just throws him through a fucking window?
Roddy Piper.
Because those
Pilates.
windows, that window was like a
Pilates.
whole. It looked like it was like a whole wall window, wasn't it? Like a panoramic window.
yeah.
Yeah.
Floor
Aren't
to
those
ceiling.
usually like reinforced glass?
When you do Pilates, you're stronger than a reinforced window.
He was doing those let's get like physical fucking like fucking routines, and you got
Yeah.
the sweatbands on and shit.
Yeah.
Just all swole with their tie bow.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That dude should have died, bro. He fell mad far.
You did.
It's Roddy Piper.
Tucked and rolled.
Yeah, he's used to being thrown off of cages.
Things in places.
Yeah,
Because when they show
Knows
him
how to-
fall, it looked like he fell a good like 30 feet
Mhm.
yeah.
and then tumbled down the side of a hill.
Any normal person would definitely have died.
Or if they would have survived, they would have just been like all broken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like ribs and arms and all that shit.
bones popping out,
Been
Yeah.
all fucked up.
concussed.
Definitely concussed.
Slipped a disc.
Slipped to disc. Fuck.
Too real. Too real.
Don't talk about slip discs. Not on this podcast.
his sciatic nerve. All fucked up.
Damn, his sciatica was just Dunzo.
Oh,
Not the sciatica. Damn. And then even after getting all fucked up, he manages to like walk his ass all the way back to the
Frank?
construction site to Frank.
Yeah. His final hope.
His final hope that Frank would be his homie.
Frank, please.
I mean, Frank was kind of the homie. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? You just murdered a bunch of people, you fucking psychopath. He's like, nah, dude, it's chill. Don't worry about it.
Just put on these glasses real
On
quick.
these glasses, trust me.
Yeah.
Can you see? I'll give it to Nada, though. I think it was a good fight between him and Frank. But I
Mhm.
feel like if Nada was like at full strength, he would have just kicked the shit out of Frank.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
dude fell down a fucking mountain
Mhm.
and then still had enough energy to just box this dude.
For so long, dude. That fight scene was, I don't even, how long was that fight scene?
I think like over
It's like-
5 minutes.
Yeah, like 8 minutes maybe. I don't
Mhm.
know.
It's a crazy fight scene in the middle of an alien, like like not post-apocalyptic movie, but like in the middle of this alien movie,
Alien occupation movie.
these two dudes are just having the most broest fight ever, just fucking beating the shit out of each other in an alleyway.
And they're going at it like dude's throwing elbows. Like they're
Mhm.
just like, they're going for it, dude.
They were going
Yeah,
like
that's-
nut checks.
Nut shots, yo.
Yeah.
Dude, Frank kneed him in the nuts like 4 or 5 times.
Mhm.
And he still had enough energy to like trip him and then just start bombing on him.
Yeah.
Frank
No, that's
Frank was playing dirty that fight, and he
Yeah,
still
Frank-
lost.
Frank
No,
didn't give a
he
shit.
he won. Yeah, when he went to go help him up, and
Yeah.
he just fucking bombed on him. What a dick move.
You think Frank won?
No, because he
No.
ended up with the glasses.
Yeah, it looked like he won because he like fucking he slammed Nada to the ground
Mhm.
and then Nada like got up Undertaker style, just like fucking suplexed him.
Yeah,
That would have fucking hurt
Yeah.
on fucking blacktop.
I
They
like
should have been all
the
fucking concussed,
makeup effects dude this scene because
dude.
at
They
one
look
point,
fucked up.
yeah, at one point, Roddy Piper gets Frank and like slams his head on the concrete, and then when Frank gets up, you see like the back of his head looks like a scraped knee. I was like, oh shit, this small detail.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I thought it was interesting. I mean, it was like a minor detail of the fight, but like when he hits the car, he swings at Frank with the 2x4 and he misses and breaks the car window. And Frank's like, "You motherfucker!" Was that Frank's car?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I don't think Frank has a car.
yeah, because it doesn't
Oh,
show him driving earlier unless he was like storing it there.
I took that as that was his car, and that was why he was so mad.
I took it as you got so close to actually fucking me up. Like, what's the matter with you? Like, why are you trying to kill me?
Because he
Okay.
got a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah.
He gets the bottle and just breaks it completely. That was funny. But then he shows him the world and he opens his eyes.
Yeah. They see that drone.
Hmm.
That's right. They see that drone. They're just walking down the street looking all kinds of fucked up.
Hmm.
You know what it reminded me of? When back in the day when we would smoke and walk. That's how we looked.
Just all fucked up, just wandering through the neighborhood.
Just all kinds of stoned.
Yeah.
Just like looking like,
Yeah.
Going into the liquor store to like buy waters.
Yep.
Not really saying much, just putting the bottle on the counter and paying him. Walking out.
Just all zombified,
Hmm.
perplexed.
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 Oh, yeah. Those are good old days. Damn. This is like completely random. But when they're back at they get to the hotel room and then fucking Nada just tells Frank that story about his like abusive ass father. What was that all
Oh
about?
yeah. It all led up to him saying he says a one liner. He's like something like,
I'm not daddy's
"But I'm
little
not
boy anymore.
daddy's little boy anymore." Yeah, like that whole story was just for that one liner. At
Like,
least that's what it felt like.
Yeah, because I was like, because they're just sitting there like cleaning up their wounds and they're like chilling, drinking beers. He's like, my dad was a mean man. I don't know what happened to him. Then one day he came at me with a razor blade. He put it to my throat and he just kept moving it back and forth. So I ran away when I was 13. And I was like, damn, dude, like it's a fucked up ass story. Not daddy's little boy anymore. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, watch out,
Y'all like to
big
get
man on campus.
pushed around, I guess. And then how the fuck did Gilbert find them?
I don't remember.
He just shows up. He just shows up to the hotel and he's like hiding behind a pillar with his glasses.
Oh yeah, he's just in that hotel that they got a room at. They're all fucked up. They're like, we need a room.
I mean, they did. They needed to fucking clean their wounds and shit. They're all fighting in the middle of an alley. That should get mad infected.
Do you think he was just following them the whole time?
I don't know. Because they send out, like, he says that they sent out, like, feelers, or like on feelers, like, they sent out people to get all the, like, I don't know, like, their whole crew together because they're going to make, like, a final assault or something.
Mm-hmm. Assemble the troops.
I guess, I don't know. But maybe he noticed that, oh, you know what? It could be that he saw Nada on the news after, like, he murdered a bunch of people and was wearing the glasses. He's like, oh, that dude knows what's up.
Mm.
He's fighting back.
Yeah.
Maybe he found them that way because he knew where they were working. Their
Sounds
fucking
right.
their fucking little hideout was sick though.
Yeah.
They were mad kidded.
For a little bit. Until they weren't.
I know. I was thinking that too. I'm like, dude, you guys had your other hideout get like barraged by the cops. Everyone should be walking around with a piece at all times.
Yeah.
Or there should be lookouts.
There should
They
be.
had that one guy at the door.
That's it.
That like biker dude with the sweet beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. And then they didn't even come through the door. They just like blew up the wall.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw Holly there, were you like suspicious?
I remember originally watching it and thinking Holly like had seen the light and like, I don't know, had maybe come to like really help out. Because that's what it seems like in the beginning. Like maybe after she pushed this dude off of a building, she felt bad.
She's like, all right, let me see what's in this. Because she looks at the sunglasses while she's calling the cops.
Yeah.
She like looks down at them. So it's like, oh, she puts them on and like, she's like, oh shit, this he wasn't lying. I just murdered this guy.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. But then she immediately gets an invitation to like join the resistance group. Like, how did they even find her?
Chilling,
She
dude.
found them.
There was a Facebook group post. It was like when we invaded Area 51.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a wild time.
It was a wild time.
And then fucking Nada's just all in love with her, dude. He's so concerned for her safety, like basically the whole rest of the movie.
For real. After she pushed him off of a building.
Did them eyes, dude. He was like, it's all right. We're cool.
I love a woman that pushes me out of a window.
I love a woman with a little fight in her.
God.
He likes to get down, dude.
Yeah, he does. Terrifying.
He likes to be dominated.
Mm-hmm. And then but the I guess the second raid, that's where they straight up just murdered everybody.
Yeah.
No survivors.
And they had
pretty bad.
Unlimited ammo and all their guns.
They did. No one reloaded that whole thing. That whole shot.
No one reloaded. They easily shot more than like 30 rounds. Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Because fucking Nada's just like spraying and praying. Just like moving back and forth. With his fucking
had scavenger.
They had scavenger on?
Yeah. Just constantly picking up ammo.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Fucking scavenger with quick reload.
Every critical hit, it automatically reloads.
Yeah, they had a perk. Every kill replenishes your clip. That's pretty funny.
They were maxed out.
Maxed out. Doesn't Frank solve bomb and figures out how to open up a portal with the watch?
I don't think he did it on purpose. I feel like it just
He
it just
didn't.
happened, right? Like
He
they were
was messing
running.
with it. He's like, I'm gonna figure out how this thing works.
Yeah.
And like it shot a beam out and like hit the ground. And he was like, oh shit.
Mm,
Then Otto's like, well, fuck it, dude. We gotta go into the hole. And he's like, nah, fuck that. We don't know where that goes. And he's like, look at all these fucking soldiers coming for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird how they get there and like nobody questions why these two like dirty ass, beat up ass looking ass dudes are just chilling there.
There. Yeah. That's like I felt like it was like the perfect hiding spot is within their own place. Like no one would suspect rebels to be in the base.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Because you heard the two soldiers are like, hell yeah, we eliminated all the fucking rebels. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, we got him. And then that's when they go into that dinner of the elite with the aliens telling the human elite, like, hey, everyone's profits went up by like collectively 39%.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy.
That's an insane profit bump.
Yeah.
39%. If my like bank account went up by 39% from this year to next year, I would be so happy. It would make a world of difference in my life if that happened. That's so much money.
For real.
39% of your big corporation.
Yeah.
And then it's fucked up too, because it shows how the humans all sold out.
Yeah. I wonder how much
Money
profit,
talks.
Musk has made in the last few months. How much profit has Musk made in the
Well, I know he wanted to be the world's first trillionaire,
Yeah.
which is fucking ridiculous.
According to a Google search, Musk's net worth has increased by 33.5 billion in the last few months as Tesla shares posted their biggest gain in more than a decade.
Wow.
Fucking
Good times. Good times.
Love to hear it.
Mm-hmm. That's the guy that's trying to get rid of Social Security and Medicaid because they are. What did he say? He said they're something on society. They're like a detriment to society. Love it. Love it.
Dark gothic MAGA.
Movie's so relevant right now.
It is
Yeah.
it's so crazy too though, because like that's the type of deal that like that'll just anger everybody, regardless of what side of the political spectrum you're on. That affects literally everybody.
Yeah.
And
But then I think it's like how much are you paying attention and like how much are you not? You know what I mean?
people start paying
True.
attention when that check stops coming in. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
People
Yeah.
really start paying attention. You ain't
Yep.
got food on the table, people get desperate.
Yep. Yeah. This scene though, when they're with all the normal people elites, I felt like was the most like relevant to
Most poignant.
to like what's happening now. And I mean just the story like in general, because it shows that
Yeah.
it wasn't just aliens. They're working with actual like human elites to basically sell out the planet just so they can make more money.
I thought it was interesting too. I don't know. There's like a little tidbit on like climate change in there too,
Mhm.
but they're saying like they want all this unregulated like climate control because they're terraforming our planet to get it to their home planet's climate
Mm,
by using like unregulated like industrialization. I was like, oh, that's such an interesting concept.
crazy.
So like you're making it less livable for humans, but it's becoming more livable for them.
Yeah,
Like that's such an interesting way of terraforming.
for real.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I wonder in the long run though, and this is probably just getting real nerdy into it, but if a planet is terraformed to get rid of the humans and your profit is coming from the humans, why are you getting rid of your profit?
Well, I think the whole point of the those aliens is they're like they wanted to make like what do you say like an intergalactic like they were like corporate aliens, like enterprising aliens. So I think they're just Earth was just another planet on their, list
Vacation
of
list.
places to profit off of, and they're just gonna move on to the next one once they get it to where they want it.
Yeah.
Because remember they get the grand tour, that's when the dude kind of tells us, the audience, everything that's happening. Because
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, you guys joined up," and he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Sweet, let me tell you everything that's happening."
Yeah. I love that bit of exposition that happens right at the
Right at the end.
last half of the movie, or the last quarter of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And their technology was crazy. How they could just teleport people.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them like get teleported and they get shot out like a light beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see them traveling across the stars. I'm like, oh, that was pretty sick.
Yeah. It's cool tech.
That dude's so fucking gullible. He's like, whoa, yeah, there's a broadcast. Can we see it? He's like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go see it.
Yeah, you're already part of the group. Let's go check it out.
Guys, he's like, you guys haven't seen all of it. I might as well show you. He says something that I thought was super interesting. And I guess Carpenter heard this from a Universal executive when he was showing him the script of the movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a script. He says, when he's telling him about how you're going against your own kind, like selling out, and the guy's response is, "Where's the threat in that? We all sell out every day."
Mm-hmm.
And I guess a Universal executive told that to Carpenter, and that became a line in the movie.
Damn.
I was like, "Damn, we all sell out every day." Fucking nuts.
I would sell out.
You would sell out?
I would sell out.
I would sell out.
Yeah, someone comes up to me and is like, "Yo, I'll give you like millions of dollars to sell out like so and so." I'd be like, "All right, let's ride." I would rather take money. You kidding? In this economy, shit, so hard. Can't even afford a house as as a single individual. It's so much harder to even like think of affording a home here in this state.
Yeah.
Get OnlyFans, start snagging them dick pics.
I could actually, now that I know how to post links on Instagram.
Yep.
Get ready,
One
people.
step closer.
Are you telling me you wouldn't sell out for a good amount of money, Dale?
I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'd have to be in the situation, but like, if it's like against the like aliens, I don't know, man. Us versus them, I'd rather like not have the aliens around. But this is
But
me.
you'd have so much money, you would be considered part of them for a little bit until they decide
Until they get tired of you.
Yeah,
Then they
pretty
get rid
much.
of you too.
Yeah,
That's the thing, though. It's like you're like they see you as less than too. They even say
Yeah.
that Earth's a third world planet.
mm-hmm. We're a ghetto
So-
planet.
Yeah, or a ghetto planet. So it's like
Yeah.
they think you're fucking dog shit. They're just gonna kill you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're just a loose end, or you will be eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It almost reminded me in a way, and I know it's like such a stretch, but it almost reminded me in a way of like, when back in Nazi Germany, when like some of the people that were turning over Jewish people were like actually Jewish people. I
Mhm.
don't know why. It was
Yeah.
like one of the things that I like immediately thought of when he said that line. I was like, oh shit, like yeah, I could see that, and we've seen it kind of in history.
Yeah, they're just using you until
done.
they don't need you anymore.
Yeah. Or like all the Latinos that voted for Trump.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Like I don't know. I don't think I would. I would turn over.
Yeah, but those people voted for Trump just because of ideas. If I were to see like actual like financial income from doing something potentially negative, but like it would be a really good financial like bump, I don't know, man. That would be a hard decision for me to deny.
I guess that's true. I'd have to be put in this situation, but I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
fucking over your own, helping enslave your own kind and like your whole planet seems like a big thing to fuck over.
Yeah.
You're essentially putting your own people on the Mayflower and sending them across the Atlantic at that point.
Yeah.
What if
I don't know about all
everything
that.
was already like the wheels are already turning? Like there was nothing you could do individually to stop the infiltration from happening. So it's like can't beat them, join them.
Dale's saying that he would start the revolution.
It sounds like that.
Yeah, you'd be a revolutionary.
I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's like that whole would you rather like die on your feet or live on your knees? Like which do you prefer?
Are my knees covered in hundreds?
I don't know. I guess it could be
You're,
theoretically.
you're kneeling down on stacks.
On stacks of
Sounds bad for your sciatica. Dude.
Oh, my sciatica.
not the
Don't talk
sciatica.
about it.
Please.
I don't want another flare up.
It's always there.
It's my secret. I'm always flared up.
It's always flared up. And then, dude, the boo just pops off like immediately. Then they just start murdering everybody in that satellite station.
Yeah.
Everybody. They just like kick open the door and just murder that whole fucking broadcast booth.
Everyone dies. And then Holly shows up.
Yep, Holly
Oh,
shows
yeah.
up. Like, wouldn't you be sketched out? Like, how the fuck did she escape? And then she's not only did she escape, but she's just like back at her regular job.
I don't think Roddy was thinking with his the top head.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because even Frank was like, why the fuck do we have to go for this Holly chick, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, I
a
gotta
hard
find
worker.
Holly. Like, who fucking cares, dude? He's like, we got a mission, and she fucking takes out Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sucked
That
up.
was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Gets shot in the dome.
Frank got to go down like that, man.
I mean, they were gonna die regardless,
Yeah. But
but still,
Mhm.
him and Roddy Piper did take out
A gang of aliens.
the gang, and then they destroyed the broadcast. They like opened up the world's eyes to the invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how at the end, and it shows like the guy in the bar, and he's like, "What was everybody looking at?"
Mhm.
And then it's just to show the chick with the tits having sex with the alien for no reason.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys look crazy in color.
They do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They look mad crazy with all their like skin was all colorful and shit, and they looked all
Blue and
fucked
red.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
they look cool. I was like, damn, I wish we had some more in color shots of them.
I don't remember, but does it show any of the subliminal messaging as well, or was it just the aliens that we saw as like colored?
Damn, that's a good
Um,
question.
Yeah, I think it was just the aliens.
I thought it
I
was
don't think
just
it-
the aliens.
Yeah, it didn't show any billboards, but I would like to see
Yeah.
the billboards and the newspapers and everything
Yeah.
changed as well.
Yeah.
Damn, that'd been that would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
If like all the magazines just turned into
To what they were
like submit, obey.
Yeah.
And
I
all
bet
the
it's-
birds turned into drones.
That'd be crazy.
Mm.
They got the birds first.
Well, you never see
Starts
baby
and ends
pigeons,
with the
dude.
birds.
Is that where that comes from? The whole like obey, how you'll just see that randomly.
Yeah.
It comes from this movie, right?
Hmm.
Oh, like the brand obey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Film was very poignant, very good. I like that it ended with the heroes kind of sacrificing themselves, but ultimately like being victorious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Because
greater
like
good.
their odds were so like impossibly against them. Like for them to survive all that would have been kind of crazy.
Yeah. I did think though that it was weird that like the aliens only had one broadcast and it was in LA. And like once that broadcast was done, all the aliens are now visible to people. Like wouldn't
That was kind of interesting.
wouldn't they have set up like multiple like fail safes? I don't know. That's just me.
Maybe I mean headcanon, but maybe they only exposed the Los Angeles aliens.
Oh, like every city has like a bubble like surrounding them. Damn,
Yeah.
maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were just so assured of themselves that they didn't even bother to think about it.
Yeah.
That too. They're like, we've done this before.
Mhm.
Yeah, this always works.
Mm-hmm.
Like this ghetto ass planet ain't gonna do shit. We already got their leaders under our hold.
Yeah.
And they're birds.
And they're birds. Great film. I really enjoyed it. Did you know that Roddy Piper came up with the bubblegum line?
Hey,
He
you
would.
did. That's the corniest line in the whole fucking movie.
was
What
great.
came up with that line?
It's looking great.
Uh,
It makes no fucking sense, but it's awesome.
yeah.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
I'm reading now that Carpenter used the pseudonym Frank Armitage as an allusion to one of his favorite writers, H.P. Lovecraft. Henry Armitage is a character in Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's why he used that.
Nice.
Yeah, but I still don't understand why he wanted to use like a pseudonym. But whatever.
Yeah, like why he just didn't put Carpenter? Like the screenplay was by him.
Yeah,
Maybe it made it easier to get it filmed. Who knows?
maybe it's hard to tell. I mean, how many movies had he made by this point in time?
A lot.
Let's see.
Halloween was like his third movie, I think.
Yeah, he did Dark Star, Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Thing, Christine, Starman, Big Trouble Little China, Prince of Darkness, and then They Live.
This is his 11th movie.
Yeah, he'd done a ton of movies by that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like DJs when they go into a different genre, they change names, they have a different persona. Maybe this was, I don't know, because I feel like this movie it's very different from his other movies where the social commentary is like right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas his other movies are they're definitely more horror driven than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That could be it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh, we should add Ghost of Mars
Ham, I love that
Boom,
movie.
down.
With Ice
Ice
Cube.
Cube?
with Ice Cube. Yeah.
I've never seen that movie.
You never seen Ghost of Mars?
Never
It's
seen
not-
it.
It's not a good
Damn.
movie. It's one of Carpenter's worst films. But I like it.
I like it too.
Definitely, Carpenter definitely started to lose it a little bit. You know, post
Damn.
like mid 90s, I think.
Yeah.
I gave all my interesting facts while we were recording. Do you
I-
boys have any?
I don't have any this time around.
I don't really
Yeah.
have any either. I really like that it and I feel like I've said it multiple times, but I like that the story is like kind of consistent with how things are happening now. Like Reganomics, the reason why this movie came in is because of Reganomics, and I feel like our current president and company kind of are using that same type of like in a way that same type of like speech and the way they want to run the country and things like that, like give more money to the wealthy so then the wealthy will trickle it down to like everyone else, but in reality we all know that doesn't
Never happens.
that doesn't work. But I like that we can watch it now and like talk about it and just still draw these connections, and I think that that's what makes it a really great movie that you can still watch today. And yeah, like some of the scenes are kind of goofy, like Roddy Piper's kind of like he says some really silly stuff, but the general like story itself was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think with that breakdown, we should probably get into our reviews then.
Let's do it.
While you're on a
Yeah.
roll, say it. Why don't you start us off?
I give this movie an A. I really like this movie. There, like I mentioned, that it's kind of silly. Like Roddy Piper, is kind of ridiculous in the way that he just kind of comes in and like just starts murdering everybody. But I think the story beyond that does such a good job of kind of painting this like dystopian time period where we've already lost and the aliens are already here. And like what can we do to kind of like fight back in a way. But it also talks about like consumerism and like how everything that we do is basically led by these like super wealthy elites who are also aliens or also like people that have sold everyone else out. I like stories like that. I like movies like this that have really good stories that make me kind of think about things a little bit deeper and try to tie it into what's going on now. And I feel like this is such a good movie that you can still watch today and be like, oh damn, like this is still like a really, really great story. I also love John Carpenter. The soundtrack is really cool. It is different than his other movies, but it's definitely like, I don't know, to me it feels like a really good LA movie. There's a lot of scenes that when you watch it that are in like downtown LA or just LA surrounding areas, and I love that shit. So give it an A. Check it out. Everybody, I recommend to everyone, maybe not children, or maybe children, whatever you want, however you want to do it. But definitely check out this movie.
Nice. What about you, Twan?
Yeah. So I gave this movie a B. I think it's a solid B movie. Just another one from Carpenter. I I definitely enjoyed it the second time around more than the first time around, and I think I could attribute that to just paying attention more to the dialogue, and not like having this mindset of fuck, this movie's a fucking slog, because that's what I felt like the first time around. But this time, I paid more attention to it. More of the nuances of the film. Like you said, Saya, the sound design was cool. The the context of the movie itself, it's still relevant today, and kind of crazy that you can you can place this movie in today's world and it'll still have the same effect. But yeah, this movie has a lot going for it. It has like a 6-minute fight scene, which is really cool. The practical effects used in this movie, and like just to show how much these aliens have taken over, and how much subliminal messages there are. Like there's some really cool shots of like the city with the billboards and shit like that. So yeah, this movie has a lot going for it. I in my opinion, it wasn't worthy of an A. I don't like it that much, but it's still really good. I would definitely recommend it to anyone that likes sci-fi or that likes John Carpenter, and you want to check something out that's not like his usual movies. Definitely give this movie a watch. So yeah, I give it a solid B.
Nice. All right, I'll finish this off. So I'm kind of in between the two of you. I gave this movie an A minus. I really like this movie. For all the reasons that you guys said, like the social commentary alone, I thought was really good, especially the second time around where I made it a point to like pay attention to the dialogue, and kind of just the storytelling with the scenes. I thought he did a really good job of showing like the different levels of society versus like the haves and the have nots, and kind of the way the haves react to the have nots was pretty good because it hasn't changed. I feel like, as Saya pointed out, it's only like gotten worse, and I feel like this movie is still relevant today. I would argue after seeing like a handful of Carpenter's movies, this might be his like most important movie. I don't know if it's his best movie. I don't think it's as good as Halloween, but the lasting impact that it's had and its reflection on like American society and our like obsession with excess and our inability to really wake up and do anything about it, is still super poignant. And I do think even today the whole alien concept kind of holds true now, because you see, especially with like all these like new money tech billionaire guys, like they're so rich and so far different from your average person, they might as well be aliens. Like they're not like your everyday Joe. We're not relatable to them like at all. And I feel like that speaks to kind of the difference between the people at the top and the people at the bottom, where it's like we might as well not even be the same people, because what do we have in common? Right. So I thought this movie was great. I would recommend it to anybody. It's an A minus. So the only reason why I didn't give it a full A is it's super dialogue heavy, which is great. I do love that in a movie, but I thought the acting was fine in this movie, but it wasn't like the best. So I feel like that brought it down a little bit. And gonna disagree with Say a little bit on this one. I think the music was okay, but it wasn't it was a little too samey throughout. You felt like he used kind of the same like section of a song and just kept replaying that same section over and over again, which was cool. Like it was cool, it was catchy, and I liked it. But I feel like Carpenter has used music in a more like creative way in his other films, less so in this one. But the special effects always on point. The story was amazing, and I would recommend this to anybody, especially if you want a reflection on like society today and even how things were in the 80s. You'll see like how little has changed in the last like 40 years. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, A minus. I think this is a must watch.
Nice.
All right, guys. So we got an A from Saya, an A minus from myself, and a B from Twan with a highly recommend. Shall we wheel it up?
Let's do it.
Wheel.
All right. I added Ghost of Mars and Bone Tomahawk. Any other ones?
I don't have any this week.
Swaya?
Nah.
All right. What are we hoping for, boys? Still holding on for
Roar.
Pulse?
The movie that I've been holding out for this whole time. Please give it to me. I want to watch that movie. I feel like if we don't get it this week, I'm just gonna watch it.
Damn.
Yeah, because I really want to watch it. Watch us get it next week. That would be so fucking annoying.
Watch, we're gonna get like Ju-on. We're gonna get like another Japanese movie, but not Pulse.
We're gonna get something with an animal, like dog soldiers or crow or unicorn, whatever.
I think we're gonna get like a something a comedy. Something a comedy. Let's see what we get. Let's see it. Will Slaya finally get Pulse?
Come on.
I feel like the sickos out there don't want you to get it.
Do it.
I don't even see it on there.
I don't see it anymore either.
Oh, I see it. Oh, it's gonna get passed right now.
Oh no.
Fucking Gummo?
Gummo.
What's Gummo?
No, Hackers.
Let's go, Hackers. I'm down for Hackers.
Hackers. with Angelina Jolie.
Hell yeah.
Never seen this movie.
You never seen Hackers?
Damn. Get ready. Hold on to your butts.
It's a 90s cult classic for sure. It's super 90s, dude. This movie is 90s as fuck. 1995 film.
Ooh.
With I think Angelina Jolie's in it and
fucking Johnny Lee Miller.
Where's
Matthew Lillard is in it?
Matthew Lillard and Fisher Stevens.
I fuck with Matthew Lillard. I like most of his shit.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Well, the will has spoken. We are watching the 1995 cult classic Hackers.
And I'm also going to watch Pulse.
And Saya will watch Pulse and let us know if it's any good or not. I'm going to laugh if we get it next week. That'd be too funny.
That's hilarious.
But thank you guys for joining us this week as we covered They Live, the poignant political action film that is more real today than it probably was in 1988. If you guys haven't done so already, you can support the pod by clicking the donation link at the bottom of each episode. But if you can't donate, that's totally cool. We love making the pod. We love joining you guys each week. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. If you haven't done so already, follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram, TikTok, X/Twitter, YouTube, Threads, and live on Twitch. We will be live again. Should be next Saturday at 10 a.m.
That's the first, yeah?
I believe so. We should be back to our regularly scheduled TV time. As always, I've been your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya.
Adios.
And Twan.
Bye.
Catch you guys next week. Bye.